one of the things that you shared with me that's been a real recent kind of event in your life is you became pregnant and which was an incredible joy, but then you miscarried, that baby, and this is like kind of recent within the last few months and such, and so I wanted to, first of all, not a lot of people talk about that. It's kind of a subject that is difficult, but yet in your circumstance, you actually, it was hard, but you found the Lord, and you kind of grew in your relationship. It strengthened your marriage in some ways, and so I wonder if you would just kind of share your experience, with all of that.
Yeah, well, like I said in our last conversation, like I was kind of just at the end of coming out of like asking Lord, are you even that good? I was kind of in that like questioning him, that struggle of like, do I really want to continue to follow him? And when I got pregnant, it was a complete surprise. I mean, even my husband was like, what? Is it even mine? Like, how did this happen? Like it was unplanned, but it was a great surprise. So we freaked out, but once it kind of sunk in, I started getting sick, and I was in bed for like the first month or so. That's when the Lord started really romancing my heart again and like calming me down enough so that I could actually receive from him. And I think that was like the start of me rediscovering my relationship with God. And so as we got excited for the baby, and it was after one of the big conferences that we do over at the International House of Prayer. It's called the One Thing Conference. It was like right after that, the Lord was encountering us there as we served, and we were just like so excited for this new season of life with a new baby. And literally after the conference, the next day we were going to find out the gender of the baby. So I mean, I was pretty far along, 5 months, and we found out that there was no heartbeat.
Oh.
And it was devastating. I mean, I miscarried our second child, but it was a lot earlier on, and it was very painful as well, but baby was so small, and at this point I looked very pregnant. Like, it was obvious that I'm pregnant, and all my friends were pregnant. Everyone was congratulating us. We're like, oh, we're so excited. So when we got the news that there was no heartbeat, it was just like devastation. It was like, what is going on? We thought that we were getting ready for this new season of life. It felt like the Lord was really starting to like bring revival in our family, really, for my husband and myself and my parents. Like, it felt like he was really starting to awaken our hearts for new passion and new zeal to love him more. And it was really beautiful. And then this happened, and it just wrecked us. For like a month, we would just cry. It was just so painful. And actually, before I get to that, so I thankfully actually got to deliver in a hospital. So, and we had a girl, and her name's Alexandra Claire, and she was about 8 inches. So I mean, she was fully formed, and she was. I mean, she wasn't just like a pile of something, but she was a real baby, and but that was really awesome that we got to see her, and we got to say,
And you got to name her.
We got to name her. We got to find out her gender. We got to, the hospital's amazing. They let us stay with her for hours until we were ready, to part. And everything about the whole experience, though it was incredibly painful, like I don't wish it upon anyone to go through that, we just saw the Lord's hand in every aspect, from finding out about what happened to the meals that were brought, to all the love and support that we got from our church and from our community. I mean, God showed himself so strong. I mean, I asked why. I was like, why? As I would, I would have moments of like really crying out and stuff, but I never questioned his goodness. And through that whole situation, even more so, his goodness has been engraved upon my heart. Like, I will not believe that he isn't good. And just the way that he's shown himself through the people around us, through times of worship, times of prayer, through times of just crying in the closet, of how he's impressed things upon our heart and how he's encouraged us and loved us. So it was actually only like a little over a month ago. And we actually now finally feel like our hearts are healing a little bit. But Yeah, I mean, I don't know where I'm going with this other
Yeah.
than, and that's
So like,
kind of
you
what
know,
happened.
I'm just thinking of those that are kind of in the middle of that, you know, and with all the questions that you feel, you know,
Yeah.
as you're going through it, what would you say to somebody
Yeah.
that was going through that same experience?
Yeah, I would say, for one, don't feel bad, or don't feel, don't even question the grief. Like, just feel it. Like, that is honoring your child, or the person that you've just lost, whoever. Like, actually allowing yourself to grieve and cry, and letting other people serve you in that process is really good and healing. Like, what we realized is that with our first miscarriage, we kept it kind of a secret. And I regret that. You know, with this one, it's like everybody knew, and everybody mourned and grieved with us. And it actually made that process so much, I don't know, more full and rich, I guess. And it really actually gave our daughter value, you know, and worth.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, oh, well, it's just like some cells and some tissue. No, like, she's a real human being with a soul. And now she's with Jesus. And the second thing I would say is that the beautiful thing about this is that we as believers, we get eternity. So in light of eternity, you know, I know that she's up there. She's not going to suffer any pain or sorrow. She's under the perfect care of the Father. And as we're here living out the rest of our lives, when we get to finally be reunited with her, we'll look back on this time in our life and it will seem but a moment, you know, compared to spending all of eternity with her and my other child, you know.
Yeah.
Then, so I think getting your eyes focused on the fact that life is temporal, and though there's pain in it, you know, there's so much more beyond now.